Live from Silicon Valley, it's time for the EA Radio Show with host Tony Bruno.
Hello, sports fans. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Tony Bruno. We have a great preseason broadcast for you today with plenty of big news from around the NFL. We'll be joined by one of the coaches in the NFL, so that should be interesting. Also got a league story and a bone to pick about something. We'll have time to get to some of your calls, too. Stay tuned. Okay, switching gears now. This show is a good forum to debate certain topics. We like to take callers every now and then to see what people are thinking about these days. Let's get right to it with caller number one. Hello, what do you have for us today?
Tony, hey man, thanks for the line, thanks for the time. Listen, what I wanted to talk to you about was the job of an NFL scout. Get your take on how important you think that role is in the grand scheme of things, because I, for one, think it's one of the toughest jobs in football. I mean, probably in all sports, really. So you're an NFL scout. You have to constantly travel. You're taking meticulous notes. I mean, you are watching every move that these guys make. You got to be extremely observant. It's like they're kind of like a writer in that regard. And, you know, I'm a journalism student, so I can appreciate their attention to detail, Tony. But their job takes constant focus, and I really don't think that's something that can be said for a lot of jobs out there outside maybe the medical profession. But I wish I knew a scout. You know, I've seen a couple specials where they talk about the role of a scout, but really I'd like to talk to one personally, you know, to one or two of them, pick their brain, really get in there. I think they'd be really interesting to talk to, you know?
I hear you. Scouts do have a tough job. It's one of those jobs that gets very little recognition, at least in the public eye. Most teams have a pretty good-sized scouting staff, and they take their job seriously. They're the guys out there giving feedback about the future NFL stars. They're the first person who identifies the ones to watch, and they separate the great ones from the rest of the pack. It all kind of starts with them, really. They're the talent evaluators. They bring players to the team's attention. And if it wasn't for scouts, small college players would have little chance of making it to the NFL, or at least even getting drafted. There'd be no Jerry Rice, no Steve McNair, no T.O., no David Patton or Darren Sharper. The list goes on and on. Anyway, we're out of time for this segment. Hey, we appreciate the call. Now it's time for the Coach Call of the Week, and on the line with us today, one of the up-and-comers in the league, head coach Jim Mora. Hey, great to have you on the show, Coach. Thanks for giving us a call.
My pleasure.
Well, Coach, the preseason's here, only a couple of weeks until the real season starts. Anything or anyone in particular that you'll be looking over at the next couple of games, and what's your main goal over the course of the preseason?
To evaluate our team, evaluate the players on our team, see what they can and can't do, put them in situations where they have to perform certain responsibilities. It's not necessarily always to win, although you want to win. We'll create opportunities for players to demonstrate what they can do on the field.
Now, many of your guys are coming back, returning veterans. They've had another year of experience under their belts. How do you determine who's going to get playing time?
It depends on their health. It depends on our opponent. It depends on how much time we had with our backups in the previous game. All those things will be a factor in determining how much our starters play. We need to see, if we need to see something out of a young player that's behind a starter that's an established player, then that guy might not play very much. We just have to take it on a game-by-game basis.
There are a couple of new faces on your team, too, just like every other team. Do you expect to give them maybe some extra reps to see what they can do in your system?
Most likely. You know, you need a chance to get to see this guy on your team, running your plays, playing your defense with the players that he's hopefully going to be playing with during the season.
We're on the line with head coach Jim Mora. All right, any big plans for yourself when the coaching career's over?
I'm going to be a house husband.
If you could point to one person in the league who's had the biggest impact, the biggest influence on you, who would that be?
My dad's been my biggest influence. He was a successful coach in this league for many, many years and has taught me a lot of great lessons, so he's the guy I lean on and still lean on.
Great. We'd like to thank head coach Jim Mora for joining us here on EA Sports Radio. Thanks again, Coach. Good luck, and hopefully we have you on the show again soon sometime.
Thanks for having me, Tony.
Great interview today. I really like to talk to Mora. He's a smart coach and an all-around nice guy. If you ask me, he's one of those coaches that has everything he needs to be a huge success in the NFL. Thanks for tuning in to EA Sports Radio. We had a good discussion about the upcoming season. Good luck to all of your teams.